I am Edomite.
I'm an Edomite.
I'm an Edomite and I will be destroyed.
I'm an Edomite and my time has come.
I am an Edomite. My kingdom is finished. I am at my end.
I am an Edomite. I am an Edomite.
I am an Edomite. I'm going to sleep.
If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's how we're going to be on you Edomites, man. You're going to be a part of our release therapy. Let me get some frustration out. Let me vent real quick. And the word vent means to let out air. Let me give me a quick release. Let me fuck these Edomites up. Then I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. Man, that felt good. Let me enjoy the rest of my day.
I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever. I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted.
When you Edomites see fringes, right? When you see our fringes, your ass better have a damn heart attack, man. You don't even see us fully. The moment you see some fringes, your ass about to give up the ghost, man. Go into cardiac arrest. We gonna break your ass into nothing. We gonna make you a no people. You made us a no people.
It's so hot I can barely breathe.
The sun is brutal. When will it end?
This heat is unbearable. I can barely breathe.
My hands are raw. How much longer must we toil?
We must appease them or face their wrath.
The heat is unbearable today.
Don't speak of the elect, they might hear.
It's so hot out here I can barely breathe.
This sun is brutal. When will we get a break?
The elect are coming.
The gods of the earth are coming.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, push them get up out of there. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers and listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, with GMS Mississippi Camp, and we want to come with another lesson. And the brother got a title, dealing with everyone will give an account, because as we've been speaking, the prophets, going back to the apostles and elders, their elders, you're talking about close to 60 years of this, ministry going forth. And now we're coming into the time where the Lord is finna hold everyone accountable, okay? Because as the scripture said, matter of fact, you can get that real quick in St. John 15. And go to 21.
Gone. This is the book of St. John, chapter 15, verse 21. It says, but all these things would they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me.
Yep. So when you go into how our people hate, the correction of the prophets,
Mm-hmm.
And why do they hate the correction of the prophets? Because our people hate accountability. Okay, and see what we're doing, we're just holding them accountable verbally. You see, the Lord's going to hold you people accountable physically, okay, through judgment, okay. You can go ahead. That's John 7:7. What you looking for?
John 7:7.
Yeah.
They just back you up. Oh, you want to read down?
Yeah, finish that. Yeah, go down.
Like
then you can jump to 7.
Come. This is John 5, this is verse 22. So like it says, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin.
Mm-hmm. They had not sin. Go ahead.
Come, but now they have no cloak for their sin.
But now they have no cloak for their sin. So if this word didn't go forth like it did in this time, because now the spirit of Yahweh is upon, the multitudes of particular men in Israel, their remnant. Okay, so he raised up all these prophets with the spirit of Yahweh. So now they're hearing this direct warning. Okay, they're hearing what's expected of the Lord. They're hearing, all right, what's off, what's displeasing to the Lord. So now you're accountable for that. But there was a time when we didn't know what was displeasing to the Heavenly Father. We thought we was doing something righteous, celebrating Christmas. We didn't know it was paganism, Easter.
Calling on JC.
Yeah, calling on JC. We didn't know these things were, all right, provoking the Lord's anger. Okay, but now that we know we're held accountable, man. And see, Jake, love to play, their role of them not knowing. Well, the Lord, all right, has taken that card away from Jake. Okay, now you do know. Okay, and the Lord gonna hold you responsible for these things, man. Okay, now you get there what you had in 7:7, and then you
come. So the spirit move with it. This is John chapter 7 and verse 7, just to back up the brother. I started at 6. It says, and then Yahweh said unto them, my time is not yet come, but your time is always ready.
Go ahead.
Verse 7, the world cannot hate you, but it hated me because I testified of it that the works thereof are evil.
Yeah, you gonna add to?
Come, this is backing up what brother was going into about, the Lord. If the Lord had not came and told them that told us what we were doing wrong, then there would not be no cloak. But we don't have a cloak because Yahweh Shai came and all he did was he testified against the works of the evil works of the world. Telling everybody, don't do this. Hey, you're provoking the Lord. Hey, this is how you should move. That he gave us the reason on how to, how he said hang these two commandments overall.
And in the Bible had Yahweh Shai, the volume of the book. So when you go into Sirach, Proverbs, you go into the history, the accounts. When you go into all this book, it's just full of wisdom of instructions. We have constant examples of our forefathers. All right, and even for you sisters, you can have examples of foremothers on how to be. Okay, so the Lord has left a wealth of examples on how we should be, a wealth of knowledge, a collection of wisdom on how we should be. Okay, so as Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai has left all this wealth of wisdom, well, now we can't say that we don't know. You see, because the mysteries of the Bible have been made known. Okay, the scriptures say the Lord has poured out his spirit. Okay, he will make his spirit known unto you. So now we're in a time of accountability. See, this is a time of accountability. You see, this is why you see the spirit is on Esau. Okay, and they got the elites have Trump in the spirit of what, man? Getting ready to get active with you Israelites. Well, that's the Lord got Trump on it, man. Okay, because it's time to be accountable. Okay, because you niggas have went on, you either ignore the prophets or you mock the prophets. Okay, so now we're in the time of accountability. All right, and like I say, we've been holding you accountable verbally. The Lord's going to hold you accountable physically. Okay, you got it, bro.
Come.
You want me to get that in
Okay.
It was something I had just read.
You got another
It
one?
was spirit. 'Cause I was reading this outside.
What
All
you
right. Go to Proverbs 15. Let me see. Why was it? So you go to Proverbs 15 and 10.
15 and 10.
Yeah.
God, I got you. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsake the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die.
Yeah, so correction is grievous unto a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you correct our people, it's grievous to them. It's an uproar. Okay, you try to bring a precept out. Okay, at a family gathering, man. You see, niggas' arms gonna start flailing. Okay, niggas' shoulders gonna drop.
Here you go with that, man.
Yeah. Niggas, correction is grievous to our people. Because Jake knows, like, damn, I'm hearing this, so now I gotta be accountable, because Jake loves to operate in ignorance, man. So they don't have to be accountable. But the Lord, all right, is making it to where it's impossible for you to, all right, claim ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with this word going out like it is, man. You got it, bro.
That the ignorant is bliss. That's about that. You can't be in there no more, because the Lord is making it now to where you can come across, the truth. You can come across. You're gonna come across your how about Shem Shai, whether it be, watching the video on YouTube, whether it be come across the brother at the store or something like that, and the spirit may put it on to say something, or you pass by account. But everybody's gonna have to give an account, because everybody's gonna have to come across this wisdom, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, some sort, so that the ignorance of bliss goes into niggas think if they ignore something, it don't apply to them.
Yeah.
But that ain't gonna work.
No, because matter of fact, look up cutting the ring off meaning.
Cutting the ring off meaning.
Yeah, because you have this term in boxing. The strategy in boxing where you got certain boxers, they on the back foot. Well, the one that's the aggressor begin to move before he moved. So now he cutting the ring off to where he can't move that way. Then he try to move the other way. The aggressive is already there. Okay. And so the Most High is spiritually cutting the ring off on you niggas, man. Matter of fact, you get it, bro.
Right here?
Yep.
This
Yep.
one?
Right there, yeah.
I'm gonna share it. So you can see it. It's a quick Google search. It says in boxing, cutting the ring off means strategically using footwork and angles to limit an opponent's movement and space.
Yeah, so the Lord is angling you niggas off. All right. So you niggas just can't claim ignorant. You can't see the white man. Well, we telling you about the white man. Okay. You're being informed by all this nigga tactics. And if you still do the shit, if you're selling dope right now, you're selling dope for the white man. Okay. You're doing this for Esau, even the so-called white man. All right. If you're a gangbanger, you're gangbanging for his purpose. So we're telling you, now you know these things now. Okay. So you've been independent. I got a video, a quick short I want to do, and then link feminism to Satanism. Now, you're a feminist, you're a Satanist.
Damn.
Yeah. You're a Satanist. So no, the Lord cutting the ring off, you see, to where all them excuses that Jake, used to lean on. Okay, used to hang their hat on certain excuses. I'm a product of my environment, nigga. You are the environment. Okay. Go ahead.
I'll go back. It says,
yeah, go back. I think Mike got some a little more up under there too. Yeah, you got it.
It says this tactic traps the opponent against the ropes or into a corner, making them more vulnerable to attack.
Go ahead. Go down. And it says controlling the center.
I got you.
What's it? Lateral movement, angles, and pressure.
Yeah,
go to angles and pressure.
Angles and pressure. It says by cutting off angles, a boxer can force their opponent towards the ropes or into a corner, this limits the opponent's ability to invade punches or create space.
Yeah, and these punches are precepts. Okay. And you can't evade them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You can't go celebrate Christmas in ignorance anymore. That's pagan culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's been, and Lord just cutting off nigga culture.
Mm-hmm.
So if you constantly to participate in nigga culture, you're gonna get constantly hit with all these punches of precepts, man.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually the Lord is just gonna come with the knockout, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's gonna be the Lord gonna come with a stoppage. You see? You got it, bro.
He's gonna set you up. You know how you always set up with the offhand, and then the offhand usually just enough pressure to get your attention. But then, like you said, going to the other week, last week, then he come across what he want to really hit you with. Like the Lord is he's setting everybody up, even us.
Yep.
You know, because before we came into this thing, we were getting them punches. You know, we wasn't and Tawadi Yahweh Shema shot for that. We wasn't scoffers, and we wasn't just ignorant. You know, we took it, you know, because when we take that punch, you like, oh shit, I saw that one. You know, now the Lord he got our attention. So now when you get up, now you move different based off of that last punch.
And then when we start to be obedient, that creates space. You know, that's why I speak about liberty in Yahushua, because as we start to live according to that expectation, that creates certain liberty in Yahushua to where we can move, the ring not closed off, because now we're not fighting against the Lord. You know, we're sparring with him, okay, in the spirit to get better, which is with the book. Like we're sparring with the Bible. We read the Bible, it's like a sparring session. You know, you're like, damn, okay. Because you're still getting hit, like I say, but you ain't in the corner no more. You know, you're out in the middle of the ring because you're operating in space of obedience. You see? Well, see, you niggas are cornered. You see? And then your movement is being cut off. And it's gonna be literal, you know, till you see now, you got people in DC recording and say they don't see niggas no more.
If I may add too, bro, it's like, you know, like we were just going into, like when we spawn, it's like now we fighting with the Lord, you know, versus fighting against him. Because you know, like when you're in there sparring, you know, when we sparring, they either got the mitts up, you know, or you know, you know, they had the gloves on, but you know, you got the headgear on. So we sparring with them, we fighting with the Lord, and the Lord is coaching us through. He's coaching us through these precepts. And then, like when we're in the real world, we can reflect. You know, there's been muscle memory. You reflect back on what your teacher taught you. You know, I think that was Elder Kazak going into how, you know, it's wonderful how he got to see how, you know, the apostles, the head apostles of GMS, you know, I think it was Apostle Rumlog, how he got to see how, you know, even he was saying they even go through things, but it's nice how they just quote, you know, the precepts. So that's their muscle memory. Like when you fighting with the Lord, no punches, he's steady throwing the precepts at us. They just now when he give us a time to kind of relax. And when we go out into the world, now we can revert back to that training, that spiritual training.
So brother, Elder Hawad,
Hawad, God. Shalom Zaquan. This is GMS North Carolina 777. This is Romans 10 and 18. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
Yeah, so there's no excuse. It said the words went to the end of the world. And because you can tell, because a lot of people talking points, you know, they got it from listening to brothers, man. You hear a lot of people on these podcasts talking about the Most High. Okay. You hear a lot of people, you know, talking about the MOTB. You see, so the talking point of the prophets, okay, have become the talking points of the world. Because when you think about it, the only thing that makes sense is the prophets. Okay? The only thing that's making sense and making understanding of this chaotic situation is the prophets, man. Okay? So going back to the point, you Jake's not going to be able to claim ignorance, man. You're going to be held accountable, man. Okay? Everything's been exposed. Esau been exposed. Black culture been exposed. The woman been exposed. Christianity been exposed. Okay? There's nothing left for you niggas to hang your hat on.
Yep.
Okay.
There's nothing else for you to play ignorant about.
Mhm.
You know, you can't, because we were just talking about that ignorance and bliss that goes into niggas when they continue to ignore things. So they're like, I ain't gotta pay attention to that. I ain't gotta pay attention to that. So when it happens, you think you just gonna be excluded. No, like the Lord, that ain't what's finna happen. You know, you finna get pulled into this. Well, you already involved. What take like say, you're gonna get involved. You got one or two ways. The Bible says you can't be lukewarm. And if you is lukewarm, the Lord gonna spit you out of his mouth. I mean, you just gonna be on the left side. You're gonna be Yahweh Shai or the highway. You know, Yahweh Shema Shai and the highway. And both of those roads got two totally different destinations, you know, initially.
It was one time we was at apartments and they had closed the court. And it had a sign on there. The court was closed for construction. You know, a few little cracks in the pavement. But I jumped the fence anyway, you know, and was shooting around. So when the courtesy officer came out there, you know, and he was like, "What you doing in this shoot?" He said, "So you didn't see the sign?" And then when he said it, I was stuck. But what I'm gonna say, you know what I'm saying? But I ignored the sign. So just going to your point, you know, you ignoring it doesn't negate the fact that this is a standard that the Lord has set in the earth. You know, so you can ignore it, but it's still right here. You see, it still say it right there in the Bible. It's the word is there. The word is like that sign. You see, so you can ignore it and do what you want, but then when there's an enforcement, see, that's the thing too, Jake. Matter of fact, real quick, Ecclesiastes, and then we're gonna get the elder precepts. Get Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. You see,
this is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse. So I can share it back. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. It says, because the sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
See, the Lord hasn't begun to enforce, righteousness in the earth. And Jacob trouble is the beginning of the Lord enforcing righteousness. He's going to use Esau, to be a punishment for wrongdoing, and then he's going to punish Esau. See, that's another thing that you, Jay, have to understand. The Lord is going to use Esau to punish 2/3, and then he's going to punish Esau. So the only way to be excluded from that is obedience and repentance to Yahweh Shai, and that's what pardons us, man. Okay, but if you're in that mix, you're going to be a part of their judgment. You're going to be held accountable. Okay, so Esau is going to be used to hold you niggas accountable. Okay, punish you niggas, and then the Lord gonna punish Esau. He gonna hold Esau accountable for all the shit he done.
Yep.
Okay, but because it's not being enforced immediately, niggas think it's cool. But see, now the Lord getting to the point to where he finna start enforcing shit. What you see Trump doing, that's the Lord, all right, cranking that sword up to bring enforcement. Okay, because what do they call police? Law enforcement. You see,
with them blacksmiths, you know, when they just sitting there pressing the dial and they got that stone spinning and they just sharpen their sword up. Usually when they sharpen their sword up, they getting ready for war, and that's what's happening. You know, it's about to be war on the earth.
Or they finna hand it to them killers. They sharpen for them killers.
That's what the Lord doing right now. He's sharpening Esau up for y'all ass, you know, and the only way to get protection from something, to get protection from this thing, is to have that protection from the Lord, man. You know, you keep leaning on you can't lean out on your own understanding. We have to. These precepts give us the understanding. You know, I'm gonna grab that one. He put that one on there. I'll get the other one too.
You get both of them.
It says Psalms 119 and 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way.
You go to.
So the water is going for that precept, and it says through the precepts I get understanding. So through these precepts, through this word, and through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai giving us the ability to understand these things and bring it out, we get understanding on what to move, how to move, what to do, what not to do, how to become closer to the Lord, how to love the Lord more and more in these times. And therefore I hate every false way. So when we begin to see that, we begin to come in this knowledge, we begin to have what one of the preachers say of a vehemently hate.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hate of passion, strong hatred throughout the road towards every false way. So that's why you see brothers going in on false prophets, going in on really anybody. It ain't just for false prophets. It ain't just brothers hold each other accountable. We go in on anybody or anything that goes against the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, because the word says no respect of persons. Brothers pull each other aside. Hey, bro, you went off on that one. Here's how you go about it. So ain't what you see in the videos. You tell her you're going wrong with that one. But the point is, with these precepts, we get an understanding, and we understand why we're in the situation that we're in. And I was reading another one the other day when I was doing the lesson. And it goes into how the Lord has, we begin to understand why the Lord is putting us through. We begin to understand why we're in the situation we're in. So understanding the situation that you're in, the precepts have given us that understanding to say, okay, Yahweh Shema Shai, I understand why, we had to go through what we're going through. I understand these things. Not only do I understand it, I accept it. And I also look forward to getting better and stand in the spirit and stand closer to you if you see fit. The Lord can work with that, that accountability. And that's what they go into. Everyone would give account. When you have that accountability, the Lord can work with you. You ain't just finna sit and keep talking to a nigga and he's steady making excuses. Every time you tell him, hey, bro, well, you went wrong here, he's steady making excuses. So you hate that. That's a false way. If you can't take rebuke, if you can't take accountability for your actions, the Lord can't work with that, man. Your ass gonna have to be deleted. And if you love the nation of Israel, you're gonna come back and you're gonna be reprogrammed. Yes, man, bro. Let me get the other.
You can get the other. And then whatever you had.
This is our brother again, GMS North Carolina 777, Psalm 19 and 93.
Psalm 119.
Psalms 119 and 93. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me.
It brought us back to life. Brought us back to purpose. And it holds us accountable. These precepts hold us accountable. Which Yahweh Shai comes in the volume of the book. So we're constantly being held accountable because, there's things written, that's pleasing, to our power, and there's things written that's not pleasing to our power, What the brother got? The Baruch 3:6. Let me see. Go to what you had, bro? Whatever you had.
Romans 14 and 12.
Yeah.
Like I said, Romans chapter 14 and verse 12, it says, so then every one of us shall give an account of himself to the Most High.
Yeah, so every one of us shall give an account of himself to the Most High, because our conduct, as we've been born again, that's the beautiful thing, as we've been born again, the Lord, starts, holding us accountable for everything that we're learning. That's why learning is wisdom, it's not about going to show how deep you are. Really the Lord giving us his wisdom is him holding us accountable, holding us responsible for this wisdom. First off, matter of fact, get that in 2 Timothy 4 and start at 14.
2 Timothy 4 and 14.
Yep.
4:14. Call out Yahweh Shema Shai.
No, 1 Timothy 4 and 14.
Still there.
Yeah, same thing.
1 Timothy 4 and 14.
Yep.
It says, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which is given thee by prophecy, with the laying on the hands, so like with the laying on of the hands of the
Presbytery,
presbytery.
which just goes into the elders, when you go into that. Okay. But neglect not the gift, okay, which Yahweh Shai has given brothers, gifts, okay, and the gift is drawn out because you go to education, it's drawn out through teaching. So the Lord gave us a gift, all right, for the sake of teaching. All right, go ahead.
It says, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, holy
Yep.
to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
So we give ourselves wholly unto the doctrine, all right, so we can become an asset to the body, so the body can grow. Okay, go ahead.
It says, verse 16, take heed unto thyself and to the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
So it says, take heed unto thyself, because we have this wisdom first to check ourselves with this wisdom, to govern ourselves with this wisdom. Okay, then it makes us fit to teach others. And you see men that had this wisdom, and they use this wisdom to debate for filthy lucre, to be popular, for clout, to seem deep. Okay, all these different things, all these different ulterior motives that have nothing to do with the true intent of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, so now what we're seeing, okay, is the Lord is exposing, all right, men that wasn't really holding themselves accountable with this wisdom. Okay, that's why I say take heed to thyself. And how do you take heed to thyself with this wisdom? Okay, and into the doctrine, make sure what we're teaching is in line. Okay, and it says continue in them, which is to live this thing, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee, man. Okay, so we're teaching a message that's leading to salvation, man, but it begins with what? Taking heed to thyself with this wisdom. Okay, holding ourselves accountable with this wisdom. Then we're able to hold others accountable, man, as we teach, man.
And if I may add, it says at that last part, it says, doing this is it. It says, continue in them, for in this doing thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So and them that hear thee. So if you sincere sisters, other brothers out there that may not be prophets, and even some young children, that may be listening out there, you're being saved as well through these words, because these words all come from Yahweh Bashem Shai. And it's also a twofold thing. So anyone that's out there taking heed and listening to any false teachers, then hey, you're gonna have to give an account for that on the other side, along with the teachers who teaching falsely as well. Because everybody's gonna have to give that account, because at some point you've had the ability to come across the truth. You've just been stuck on what you've been stuck on and seeking after your own lust and having itchy ears.
Yes, bro. No, whatever you had. Yeah. You had something pulled up on the chat about the.
I did. I'm trying to see what it was going into.
What and now we can get we can get I got two more.
Finally, the Matthew. I never knew about that song right there.
Well, yeah, you can get that Matthew 12. Yeah, we end it there.
That'll work. Matthew 12, 36 and 37. This is Matthew chapter 12, verses 36 and 37. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says,
yeah, it's 36. Read.
Okay, I need to go up some. This is verse 36. It says, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words,
say every idle word. When you go into the word idle, matter of fact, go into get that word idle.
I'm going to put it in the Greek.
Yeah.
It's the word idol in the Greek.
Strong's G 692. Argos. Argos.
Argos. It says free from labor at leisure, lazing, shunning the labor which one ought to be performed.
Yeah, so you niggas on the sideline, you know, that's another thing too.
They're useless, inactive,
Yeah.
unemployed.
Yeah, yeah. So you niggas that's on the sideline and you think, because that's another thing too. That's why Jake, you know,
that makes sense.
Try to be, you know, these sideline gurus. All right, you Stephen A. Smith Israelites. Okay, you don't have to deal with the responsibility of actually playing the game, but your career is based off critiquing those that do. Okay. Yeah, you can talk about, you know, why they teach like this, and why they say that, and see what needs to be done, and why y'all can't be one with this camp, and why y'all can't just squash it. Okay, you just sitting there on the sideline, inactive. Okay, you at your leisure, and you just get to talk all this shit and critique. Okay, well, you're going to be held accountable for that, because if you got all this energy to talk and critique, you should be either teaching, reading for a brother, or being an active helper in the ministry, man. If you got all this free time to watch these videos and critique, you're going to be held accountable, because in order to critique, you got to what? Watch the video.
You got to listen.
Yeah, so you're listen to what you want to critique, but you should be learning and either becoming a teacher or be persuaded to help those men that are teaching, man. Okay? So those are the words that you speak. You're going to be held accountable for them, man, because you're sitting your ass on the sideline, all right, critiquing when you could have been actively helping. Okay? That's why I said, because the Israelite man, it don't matter how much money you got, how much status you got, if you're not a prophet or you're not helping, all right, for the prophets, you know, if you're not a helper of the prophets, you're useless, as it says right here, man. Okay, you're inactive. If you're not actively aiding, all right, the kingdom, okay, of Yahushua that's to come, the kingdom of Israel, if you're not teaching or helping those men that are teaching, you're useless. The Lord don't need no goddamn LeBron, no Jay-Z, okay, Mayweather. The Lord don't need them. Them niggas are useless for what the Lord is getting ready to do, transition from the kingdom of Esau to the kingdom of Israel, the throne of David. Them niggas are useless. Okay? You got it, bro.
And if I may add, I was watching El Apostle Gabar. I think El Apostle Gabar, El Apostle Hart, they were doing a lesson last night.
Yeah.
He's going into about how, you know, every member of GMS has a channel, an active channel. You know, from the minute you go in and start playing a sport, okay, they putting your ass on the court that day. It's time to get some reps in. You know, as we become, because GMS is a school of prophets. You know, our Baratas are we're amongst those men. You know, so the moment that you become, you know, you start coming amongst camp, you start going through that process. You know, you get your channel going, you become active in this thing, you become employed with Yahweh Shema Shai, because this is our main job. And this word here, it says inactive, unemployed, you know, lazy, useless, barren, idle, and slow. Those are all the critiques of someone who would either have a channel and not be doing nothing, or not be doing anything at all, like the brothers are going into, you just mocking and scoffing. So with these, and just like Apostle was going into, if you are, you know, you claim to be a member of GMS and your channel is inactive, or you do a video once every year, like you said, you know, that you're not in this thing. You're not truly employed with Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, I can get back to it and read it again unless you got something, bro.
No, you read verse 37. We can read.
Come. Verse 37, it says, well, I'm finished. I start with 36. It said, "By saying to you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy works thou shalt be justified, and by thy works thou shalt be condemned.
Yep. So accountability is going to be had. You know, that's one thing too. The internet just create this space, you know, where people can just go and say and do, you know, whatever they want to do with no accountability. You know, that's why you can get on the internet and play tough, because you don't have to see this person.
They call them thumb gangsters.
Yeah. You get on the internet, play tough. You can get on the internet and be disrespectful. Okay. Because the internet has took a lot of accountability away, you know, from the mindset of people. All right. And every now and then, you know, sometimes the people, you know, you have to really see them people you've been talking about. You know, you got them videos, and guess what? When you finally do see, you know, hey, that's it. You be held accountable right there.
Yep.
So the Lord is going to be on a whole nother level. Okay, when He holds the world accountable, you see, and this is what we're finna see accountability increase more and more in the earth, man. You know.
I want to grab this one, bro. This is the brother GMS North Carolina 777. Again, it's Sirach 31 and 39 and 1. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High is occupied in the meditation thereof. Will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in the prophecies. So we were just talking about that, you know, being employed with Yahweh Shem Shai, being fully in this thing, you know. Because when you get yourself going into that tunnel vision, you know, the Lord, the world will try to make it seem like having tunnel vision is a bad thing. But when you have that tunnel vision and your employment for Yahweh Shem Shai, it's a good thing.
Yeah, when they say strategic tunnel vision.
Yep. And get this last one here, James 1 and 11, 1 and 22. It says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So backing up the priest, how he was going to, the brother going into how he was saying, you know, those people, you know, you had them niggas that sit back and want to watch the videos all day long. That's it, they watch, and they really just watching videos to try to come up with an angle, you know, to try to get brothers tripped up. You know, but the spirit always, and I saw it, and it's in the spirit of the brother, you know, got the preacher. I saw a video of him and the elder Manata Zakba, and this Jake, he came up, he stated this, you know, they started giving the precept, they got in the corner of them, and they started punching him with them precepts. Well, he can't even hear because he's talking. You know?
No, he can't do nothing with that.
Yeah, he just talking and talking. They started telling him, hey, you know, just listen. Hey, just listen. You know, so at some point he had to hear, instead of trying to push his point, but he had to hear the stuff that he keep trying to say. And know you amongst elders, so you should be listening anyway. You should be a sponge anyway from the jump. But if he was a doer of what he was actually reading versus
amongst the word, you know, even whether the brothers or elders or not, you amongst the word.
Yeah, and
you in the world, so you don't know shit. You know. So you should, that's why I say keep thy foot when I come to the house of the Lord. Okay. Be silent, man, because you're talking, you're giving the sacrifice of fools, which is you're giving all these worldly, viewpoints, all right, that are off, satanic confusion. So you're giving the sacrifice of the fool. You know, that's what that guy was doing. He was giving sacrifices of a fool, you know, trying to offer them sacrifices of a fool on the altar, man. You got it, bro.
That was pretty much it, bro.
All right. Well, with that, you know, we pray that you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. I'm gonna give all praise and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Hakodash,
and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.
Shalom.